Hi, I'm Tara and welcome back to my channel. You've heard of walking tacos, but today we're going to do something different. We're going to make walking nachos.
But make sure they don't walk away.
Oh. We're going to make all the components of a really good plate of nachos, but we're going to make them mobile. Who wants to sit around and eat nachos when you can walk around and eat them?
Not this family.
Not this family. Let's get started. The first thing that I think that you should do is make the chicken part, because we are going to make this lovely chipotle marinade and we want to give it some time to marinate. Give it as much time as you have to give it. That way you do it first, you're going to get all the other components of the nachos ready, and then when it's time to cook the chicken, it will have, pulled in some of that wonderful flavor. So I've got 2 chicken breasts here and a food processor. So we're just going to pop in the ingredients. First, we are going to get yourself a can of these chipotle peppers in adobo, and we're going to put in 2 or 3, depending on how big they are. These are kind of dinky. That one's a kind of a good size, but this is another dinky one. So 2 to 3, depending on how big they are. And then this adobo sauce is really the good stuff. So you want to take a couple of teaspoons of that at least. I might even put more than that in. Actually, I'm going to put in like 4 teaspoons of the adobo sauce. It's just a smoky, wonderful sauce that these chipotle peppers sit in, and it's going to make this marinade. So next, you want to have about a 1/3 cup of white onions chopped up. Then we are going to take some spices. I have a teaspoon of oregano here, a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, a teaspoon of chili powder. If you have ancho chili powder, use that. It'll be spicier, but it'll have that ancho chili flavor. But regular chili powder is fine. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt or kosher salt. So we're going to put all of those wonderful spices in here. Then we have 2 tablespoons of lime juice. And quick tip on the limes, I think I just squirted some of it. Quick tip on the limes is when you get a lime, you want to take that lime and really put some muscle into it and soften it by kind of rolling it back and forth, and you'll feel it getting soft under your hand.
Flex those muscles, baby.
Yeah.
Come on, flex those muscles. Ooh.
So, if the lime is hard, you don't even want to buy it if it's hard. But if if it feels kind of firm, you want to just soften it up, because that loosens up the juices and you're going to get more juice out of it. So juicy, like Joe. So 2 tablespoons of lime juice goes in. And we're going to do 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. 1, 2-ish. And then we're going to do a tablespoon of this delicious ketchup. And this, again, we've used this before. It's the bacon and bourbon ketchup from Cleveland Ketchup Company. So how can that be bad, right? So about a tablespoon or so. I'm just going to kind of eyeball that-ish. Oof. Make a mess. All right. And then we want garlic. Since you're putting it in the food processor, I usually run these through a garlic press, but there's no reason to do that. So just pop them open by just hitting it once with the knife, and then the skins will pop right off. So just pop that in there, and let's do 2 big fatties. So it's nice and garlicky. Okay, 2 of those. So then we will process this into a smooth mixture. Okay. Oh, it smells good. That's what it looks like. So this deliciousness, we are going to pour over our chicken. Oh, you know who we need. Who do we need? Spatch!
Come on,
Spatch to the rescue.
It's time to take the stage, Spatch.
All right, so just let that marinate for as long as you can. You know, a few hours if you can. We're not going to, but you know, it'll be as long as it is. So set this aside and we are going to start working on one of the next components, which is pico de gallo. So to make the pico de gallo, you are going to want 3 to 4 tomatoes. I've got 3 here, one's kind of bigger, so we're gonna go with 3. A whole nice looking jalapeno pepper. You want to use about a half of an onion. This one's smaller, so I'm gonna kind of eyeball it to see if I wanna use maybe more than half of it, but about a half of a large onion. And we are gonna do, actually I need the whole lime. So we're gonna do the juice of 1 lime, which should be about 2 tablespoons of lime juice. And then we're going to pull off a little bunch of my cilantro plants. Do you love this? Pro tip, when you buy cilantro from the grocery store, as soon as you get home, rinse it all off, the whole bunch, and then lay it out on paper towels and dry it so that it's not damp. And then just put the whole bunch in a glass with water and just put it right in your fridge like this, like you have a little plant just living in your fridge. It lasts for so much longer. And it's nice because it's all clean and ready to go, so you can just pull off and use whatever cilantro you need for, you know, whatever you're making. We are going to put some salt and some pepper in it as well. So I'm going to get to dicing up. So we'll start with our tomatoes. Oh, get over there. So I'm going to take these tomatoes and kind of pick them up like this and drain them through my fingers a little bit. I don't want there to be a ton of tomato juice in this bowl. So now we'll go ahead and get into our onion. And again, you just want to finely dice the onion. Just do little dices like this. And since an onion is already in layers, you only have to go 2 ways. So it's a little easier. Then I'm going to cut up this lovely jalapeno. And I'm going to leave the seeds and the ribs and everything in it because, you know, we want a little heat, right? Okay, we'll put all of this in there. Okay, so I am going to use one of these to juice the lime. These, that you have to have one of these in your kitchen. You have to have one of these. Again, this is about, oh my gosh, it's going over. About 2 tablespoons of lime juice. Then we're going to take some of our lovely cilantro, just kind of grab some and rip it off, and cut it up. Then I'm going to take some kosher salt, or if you have like a large grain sea salt, for things like salsa, pico de gallo, guacamole. I like to use this kind of salt rather than just cranking away at a salt grinder, because you want to, you know, you kind of want to eyeball it. And then this we just got. We've been having fun with it. We got it.
It looks a little on this side of the camera.
Wait, let me be clear. This is a pepper grinder that we've been having fun with. But you can do this. Oh yeah. Look, how lazy are we? But then you can multitask while you're grinding pepper and just have a drink. All right, so then we are going to mix this up and kind of determine if we like the ratios of everything. Do we like how it tastes? That kind of thing.
That's my nerdy girl. She's saying ratios.
Nerdy and dirty. This is starting to look legit here. I mean, I'm gonna take a little taste. All the components here. Yeah, that's great. That's great. It's perfect. All right. Next up is guacamole. So this is my jam. I make this a lot. How much do I make this, Joe?
A lot.
A lot. But he loves it because
I do.
he loves avocados.
I am not going to turn down Tara the Foodie making guac.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a quick way to get booted out of this house.
Never. All right, so you want to get 3 to 4 avocados. I've got 4 avocados here. One of them's a little soft, but I opened it up and this is what I got here. So I still am going to use it because it's barely any brown in it and it's perfectly okay to eat avocado that is a little brown. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not pretty. What you want to do is, and I like to remove this little pit here, or whatever it is, this little, I don't know, what would you call this? Yeah, like the bottom of where the stem was or whatever. So I like to remove it because if you hit it with your knife, there's a good chance you'll cut yourself. So don't. And then you just want to cut down and then cut it like kind of turn it on the knife. That way you're not going to cut yourself. You're not doing this or anything. And then just kind of turn it and open it up. Should look pretty. Take the end of the knife, pop it in there and turn. And then you can just pop it off like that. So you just spoon out the flesh. I hear cooks saying that all the time. The flesh. All right, so we got that one. We'll go ahead and put the ugly guy in there. It's not too bad though. We don't throw out avocados unless they are not good, okay? Next, we are going to put in some tomato. And it's up to you how much you want to put in. I'm going to put the whole tomato in. Just a, regular smallish kind of tomato. I get the ones that are on the vine. For this, you just want to, do a dice just like you did with the Pico de Gallo. Just a small dice. And you can take this mess off, the guts, the tomato guts. You don't need that. Again, jalapeno. And again, I am going to leave the seeds and the ribs in. You can remove them if you want. It'll make it a little less spicy. Just try and finely dice it so that nobody gets a big honking chunk of jalapeno in their mouth. And we want some onion. We're going to use purple onion. I had some left over in the fridge, so that's why it's kind of just a wedge of it. So I'm going to cut. I'm not going to use all of this. I'm going to chop all of it, but I'm not going to use all of it. With the onion, I just like to kind of garnish the guacamole with it, but I don't want it to be too onion heavy. I think that that's the job of the pico de gallo or the salsa, to really deliver a lot of the onion. But I like some in there. And I like the purple onion because it gives it a nice color. So let's take, that's about good. You kind of eyeball it. And you're like, yeah, that looks about right. So the rest of this I will put aside for now. And you want to do, this will be about a tablespoon of lime juice. So about half of a lime. You want to hit it with some kosher or sea salt again, the nice big grains. I don't know why, it just works better with this type of thing. And just a couple pinches. Don't forget the cilantro. Oh my gosh, don't forget the cilantro. So get a little bunch, just like we did with the pico de gallo. Let's chop that up. With guacamole, when you stir it or get it, mixed together, you want to use a fork or a potato masher. That actually works too. You don't want a spoon because you need these tines to mash. So you want to just kind of start going in there and mashing down those chunks of avocado. Doesn't have to be perfect because once we get each chunk just mashed a little bit, then we can start to stir, and the ends of the tines will help kind of mix everything together the rest of the way. Just smush it. All right, so you see it's coming together now, and that's when you can just start to stir it around and get the smoothness and the texture that you're looking for. And of course, the next thing you have to do, and I'm literally salivating, is taste it to make sure it's good. I need a little more salt. Just a little more salt. If it tastes a little tiny bit bland, it's because you have to wake it up with more salt, or if you want some more lime in it. So put another pinch in, stir it in. $100% better. Okay. Here's our guacamole. So we will set this aside as well. And next, we are going to make the walking part of these nachos, which are our baked tortilla cups. All right, so now we are going to make the tortilla bowls that we will put the nacho ingredients into, which will make them walking nachos. So I'm excited about this. This is a really cool idea that Juicy Joe came up with, actually. So let's give it a shot. So first, you want to get some kind of spray oil. We like to use either olive oil or you can get avocado oil. What we want to do is spray. You want to help me? You want to spray these? You came in at a really good time. Just a light spray inside of each one of these bowls. Okay, just kind of whoosh. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I think, why don't you grab that brush and just kind of spread it around inside just so it's even. Because it kind of sprays like directly in the middle, and then, you know, that way you're coating the whole inside. Then you take your tortilla and you just press down into the container and you're making your little bowl. You want to do that with each one. Take your tortilla, just kind of lightly shove it down and it will fold on its own where it needs to. And then what you want to do is give it a light spray on this side. So just really light spray all around. So then you just want to put them on a sheet pan so you can pull them out easily. And we have our oven set to 425 degrees. So we are going to pop these in for about 6 minutes, give them a check. Keep your oven light on though with something like this, because basically as soon as you see these start to brown around the edges, you want to keep a really close eye on them because they go dark quick. So, you know, it's up to you how dark you want them, but I would go for a light golden brown to really get the best texture and flavor. The tortilla bowls are done, and it turned out we kept them in for 10 minutes at 425 degrees. And you'll see they are brown around the edges. That's when you want to take them out. So I'll lift one of these out. You can see it keeps its shape and it's so cute. So that's what it looks like. So I am just stirring up a couple of cans of refried beans. This part we're taking a shortcut on. You can make yours homemade if you want, but we just bought a couple of cans of authentic tasting refried beans. They have different flavors you can get if you want, and just heating those up in a pot so it can be one of the components in our walking nachos. So I'm turning it down a bit and I'm going to put a lid on it because it's starting to spit. Okay. Yeah. All right. They're good. You know, you can buy them and they already taste like this. It's good. Refried beans are in there. We did another batch of the Walking Nacho bowls, which actually I'm going to pull out and put on the cooling rack. And over here, we have our different garnishes. We've got the guacamole that we made. We've got the pico de gallo that we made. We also have some shredded cheese of your choice. We got like a Mexican blend, some sour cream. I love sour cream. Some green onion. We like black olives, so we've got some black olives as well. Think of the different things that you would want on your nachos. Put those, you know, kind of in bowls around the area so that everybody can put their own together if you want, or you can put them all together for the people that you are serving and then just serve them. So now it's time to make our chicken, which is the last part. It's been marinating in this deliciousness for a while. So we are going to take it out and cut it up. So we'll take these guys out and just cube it up. They're meaty breasts. Put the heat up pretty high because you want to cook it as quickly as possible to keep the chicken nice and tender. And then you want to hit it with some oil. We're going to do some olive oil in there. And once the pan is hot, we will add the chicken. Got a little sizzle going there. And I am excited to taste what this marinade did to the chicken, you know? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
You just hold tight, baby.
I'm holding tight. Oh. This annoying piece of wrapper that the Stellas have.
Yeah.
Why? Why? Stop it. Hey, Stella people, stop it. Okay, so we are ready to assemble our walking nacho. The first thing we're gonna do, we have all of our ingredients here. The chicken turned out really yummy. Looks like this. You just pretty much cook it until it's cooked through, and your the marinade sauce that's on it reduces down to where it's just kind of clinging onto the chicken, but it's not a bunch of sauce. Then you know it's done. I guess you could do it two different ways. You can put this out kind of like a bar, and then everybody makes their own walking nacho, or you can just serve them all at this, you know, all uniform, the same on a big platter and put it out for a party, and then people just grab one and walk around and eat it, you know? So whatever works for you. But here's how I'm going to assemble mine. Got the refried beans. So I think it'd be a good idea to put a couple spoonfuls of that in the bottom. So then we take some of the chicken and put that in. So I think next I'm going to put the cheese on because I want the cheese to maybe melt a little on with the heat of these ingredients. Then I'm going to do some guac. So a little dollop of guac there. A dollop of sour cream next to it. Then I'm going to do pico de gallo on top. Homemade pico de gallo on top. Beautiful. And that's some good stuff right there. And a little green onion on top of that. And if you like black olives, you can maybe pop one on top. I'm going to take a couple leaves of cilantro and tear them and put it over top. And then, for me at least, I must have my hot sauce. Cholula is my favorite. And there you have it. your walking nacho. Okay, I'm gonna take a bite and then I'm gonna hand it to you. Just looking for my perfect bite. I want this part right here. Mmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hand it off to me?
Uh-huh.
Is it safe for
It's
the
staying
handoff?
together.
It is. It is. Look at that.
But I will run interference here for you.
Second bite is going to be key. I'm just going for.
Oh, come on. Oh, messy, messy, juicy Joe.
Oh, so
You might want a small plate. But, so A, these are delicious. And B, they hold together pretty well. So as you can see, like, you know, it's kind of like eating a taco. Tacos fall apart a bit when you eat them too. So I really like the tortilla bowls that we made in the oven. It's nice to know that they were baked, that they were flour tortillas. We put some olive oil on them, but not like a ton or anything. So they're healthier. They're a little lower cal. That's always good when you can do it. But it's still, you get a little crunch and you get a little chew at the same time. These are delicious and I think you should make them. So Cinco de Mayo is almost here. So run to the store and get your ingredients, and maybe instead of your regular taco night, you do walking nachos. Well, that is all for today. Thank you so much for stopping by again. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for hitting the notification bell so that you never miss a video every time I upload one. And we will see you next time. I'm going to eat some more.